business. We're back, guys, with another episode of Robert Storm's podcast. We're here with another one, as I'm really excited to go for this one because one of my most recent discoveries, let's just say, in terms of tasks and hitting my daily goals, hitting my daily limits. And I'm really happy to share this with you guys. Today's, by the way, topic is going to be why you should focus on things you should not be doing instead of focusing on the things that you think you should be doing. It's going to make sense, trust me. I know this doesn't make sense, but let me cook. Let's start out with the first topic, which is going to be, if you will have goals and miss them, you will feel like there is no progress. But if you focus on things you must ignore, you will not do any damage to yourself and progress will happen naturally. All of us, I hope, at least the ones who like to make some progress in their life, we have these daily tasks, right, we need to do, or I would say some people even take it a step further and they have these tasks they must do every single day. And then they look at the end of the day and see if they have completed those tasks and haven't. But this strategy sounds wonderful, right? Problem is, this specific strategy has one big hole, which is there is a high chance that you will miss these goals. There's a very high chance for that. Let's just say you missed these goals or some of these goals 3 days in a row. Right? Will you not feel like you're not making any progress? Probably will. I'm talking, of course, from my experience. That's why I'm saying so confidently. And when you don't hit them, you feel like you have been lazy, you have not done enough. How did you miss these? I changed my mindset and perspective about it. I looked at it as, what if I would have a list of tasks I cannot do or habits that I cannot do. Let's just say don't talk to negative people, don't oversleep, don't touch your phone for the first hour. Very basic stuff, right? And when you have this list to look at, I actually have a list of 10 things I cannot do. I didn't make this list of AI and of my also knowing my personality, which are the specific things that trigger my daily energy the most and which makes me a lot less productive. So this is, let's just say, deeply researched by me and of me. But I have 10 tasks that I check out every single day before I go to bed, and I look and I see if I did those things or no. And if I didn't do those things, I have made success. Where is the logic behind it? Why does doing less makes a lot more sense to me than doing more? Basically, not doing is better than doing the actual thing. The perfect example is, let's just say you go to the gym, right? And your goal is to go to the gym. What do you do after the gym, though? A lot of people, the reason why they make no progress is because after the gym, under the gym, there's a store. Under the gym, in the store, there's some warm, let's just say, sweet bread or whatever you like, or maybe some kind of sweets. And that's where all the progress goes. All of the main damage factors come from things we do not really focus on. But if we would take focus on the main toxic places that make us not move forward, we would make a lot more progress. Because if you ignore the negative, you will naturally make progress. The same as if you would have a room where you would have only, let's just say, a book and nothing else, you will not sit on your phone and you will not doom scroll. You will not start doing anything you shouldn't be doing, no games, no nothing. But if you will have that book, you will finish that book at some point, because that will be probably the only thing you're going to be interested into doing. So you need to make your environment in a way that you make sure that you get rid of all of the bad factors in your life that can make you not do the daily tasks. And you must put in all the absolute best tasks you must do. But you should focus purely on not doing what makes you feel worse. Like I said, if you work hard, you go to the gym, get that great pump, right? But if after an hour you eat junk food, that all of that gym progress goes to drain, because you're not going to get in that fit body. And that's why, actually, fun fact off topic, a lot of fitness coaches, which are online coaches, charge not maybe for the working out program, but for the diet. So basically they follow their diet and they keep them accountable, because they know that if they will keep tracking their macros, they're going to get to that goal. That's the main thing people focus on, because when it comes to getting into shape, people only look at the fact that they need to hit the gym. No, they also need to eat correctly. And that goes into I went a bit off topic, but that basically goes into you should focus on things you shouldn't be doing. Because if you will focus on that, you will naturally make progress, because you will not do natural damage to yourself. So let's just say in my list, I would say, like I said, don't oversleep, don't talk to toxic people, don't eat junk food. It's pretty simple, actually. It's pretty simple. It just we like to escape these simple answers. We like to look for the sexy answer. In reality, the sexy answer is just a fancy answer that doesn't actually help. And the real best way how to understand what you are even talking about or explaining is just through that simple answer that you are just ignoring. As I was just talking about tasks, let's go into the next point, which is quit saying yes to every coffee chat or quick call to make your goals actually visible and easier to hit. I'm not saying do not hang out, but you must look really deep into who you hang out with. And if you're going to go for, let's just say, some kind of coffee date with your friends, you need to really evaluate, is that going to be worth it? And we spend a lot of time with people who we shouldn't spend our time with because they're just wasted time. And that sounds really rude. I know I have this way of speaking, pretty straightforward, and some people take it in a bad way. The people who are with me till this day, I would say, think that is my best feature because I don't bullshit. But you must really analyze who it's worth hanging out with. I will not hang out with people who I know that after that I'm not going to, let's just say, feel smarter walking away or wiser. Even with my funniest friends, I know that we can laugh about something, but we're also going to bring up some kind of deeper topic, because funny topics only surface level. Do not hang out with people you can only laugh with. If you cannot have even a deep topic with them, like not at all, it feels weird, cringe. Is it really a deep friend? Because that's a surface level topic. All of my friends, even the ones who I laugh the most with, we talk about these things. Sometimes it's harder to start doing that with them, sometimes it's easier, but still you must start. It's just very important that you do really put in consideration who you hang out with, and if you think and you see that it's not worth it, just say no, or just lie that you can make it. It is that simple. Like, people always say they're busy. I always also say that I'm busy, but for the right person, I will make time, and I will always make time for the right person, because then it's not a waste of time. Time is the most valuable asset in this whole world, because if you give someone your time, you cannot get it back. Never. That's why I don't like people who are late. When I mean by late, I mean as if you have an appointment and you, for example, you have a date. Let's not even talk about a date. Don't be late. And when I mean by late, if you're late for 5 minutes, it's fine. That's fine. Or 10 minutes. Anything can happen. Traffic, right? But if you're late for an hour and you don't even let the other person know, that is just straight up disrespectful, and just straight up fucking leave. Just don't even explain yourself respectfully. That is just what I would do, and I would advise anybody to do, because the other person is disrespecting you, and if you're allowing that disrespect, the person will understand it, and they're going to keep treating you this way. The last topic I want to talk about regarding tasks is cut off all work that is not important. It's more satisfying to quit a loser and pivot to a winner. You should completely delete the work that is not important. In our days, there's a lot of different objectives, points we must look into to do, but there's also so much junk we do that is not necessary. And we think we worked hard, as I mentioned in the previous podcast episode actually about hard work, is that we sit on our PCs, phones, whatever, and say we worked for 6 hours. But in reality, we worked for maybe an hour, maybe even less than an hour, and then just did 4 hours of junk and said that's hard work. That is not hard work. That's not how it works. And we have normalized it so much, and that's why a lot of people stay stuck for multiple years. The only way you can truly improve yourself is by having an undeniable strategy that is going to keep you consistent and going to get you there. It doesn't matter how much volume you do, but you know that when you do work, you put in the effort. An undeniable way of putting yourself out of your comfort zone. Like this, I'm making my podcasts. I still feel uncomfortable a bit filming them, but especially at the beginning, now it's getting better. And maybe after the 40th episode, I'm going to be so confident. I'm going to have guests, definitely going to have guests, going to have a much bigger engagement. Simple as that. And it's very important that we do follow those laws, and we also just put in our absolute best effort into those tasks we must do. I was watching one of Brian Tracy's audiobooks. Brian Tracy is a very well-known American salesman, that's why. And he was talking about tasks, and he had a perfect example of, you should make a list of everything you need to do each month, and you should only prioritize 3 to 5 tasks of all that list. And the rest of the tasks, you should give it to someone else or just stop doing them. He said you need to give him to someone else and pay them to do them, because if you would just mainly focus on your 5 most important tasks, you're going to do a lot more work, and you're actually going to also make a bigger income because they are the most important ones, and you can afford that. Or you can just cut them off and just leave them maybe at the end of the day to do, because they are not important. That's why they're not in the top 5 of the list. I have started doing this, and my productivity level increased. The level of I think also increased, and my changes as a person also have completely changed. And guys, that is it. That is it today. A bit of a smaller episode, but still, like I said at the beginning, I'm not trying to make these episodes long. I'm trying to make them very efficient and very full of information. So when you watch them, you can already implement them. That's not something that you need to get to my level to start implementing. This is very basic information that is foundable on the internet everywhere. But as I have said, I'm pretty sure in the previous podcast, is rather pick one person that you learn from than pick 5 billion people. I'm not saying you need to only learn from me or whatever, but you do not need to look into different videos and then think, hey, which one is better? You just need to pick one person and learn from them. And if at some point you do not like what I talk about or whatever, then of course you can find someone else. But the idea is just to receive as much valuable information in as short of a time as possible, and you can immediately implement this. I have not said anything that you need a crazy income of, or you need a specific bank balance to do. Those are basic tasks. All of us have different tasks, and it's just different factors that you can experiment with and improve yourself. So that's going to be it. I'm going to see you guys next one, and peace out.